welcome to class today. So, aloha. Alright. So today we're gonna try to do something a bit different from what we used to, readings and everything. So we're gonna start off with a little activity. And to do so, you will need to do it on your own first, okay? And this is the handout for you. And before you start, let me explain the instruction, okay? I'll be part of what I'll be doing today. So, today we're going to be doing the discussion approach, which is something that you need to interact with other peers and just to make sure that you know what you're doing. And to do so, we're gonna start off with this little activity. As you can see on the top, it says you would have to pick three out of the list here. Okay, I will give you 2 minutes. You would have to choose number one thing you want to find in your husband or in your spouse. Okay, your wife. And if you're married, just imagine you were marrying someone else. Just pretend, huh? Okay? Gonna give you 2 minutes. And you see there's also an X. You're gonna put an X right next to the one you don't want, like the worst qualities. There you go. Like one.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Alright, so I'm gonna give you 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's an eraser.
Okay. Just one X, huh? And just number 1, 2, 3. For the qualities. Huh?
Pollution is bad. That's funny.
Are you guys finished?
Yes.
Okay. So now, you guys are gonna come together. Just come and have a seat right here. Oh, I see how joyful you are. Just come together. So, now you're gonna share the reasons why you put this number 1, you put this number 2, why did you choose this the worst. And what you have to do, if it's not the same, you have to defend your answer. It means like, for example, what's your number 1?
Amazing body.
Yeah. So why do you think that's the best, that's the number 1 thing you want in your spouse? Because you have to defend your answers. Okay? So you're gonna have like 2 to 5 minutes.
Okay, I'm very, very vain. All I want is very, very beautiful. So, amazing body, handsome or beautiful, and that's it. And then maybe very, very intelligent, but that doesn't really matter. So, that's my answer. Anyone want to disagree?
Yes.
Alright.
What are you going to do in 10 years after?
Divorce? Just kidding. Just kidding, I'm not that vain. But
Get a new one.
I hope that through 10 years I will fall deeper in love and the physical attributes will not matter as much. But right now I'm very vain and that's all I want.
intelligence in excess is not required. I just want a good artist.
Music.
Was on the list, yes.
Mine is almost the same. No, I want that. I want to. It's I am married.
Dang it.
I am married with someone who makes me laugh. Sometimes angry. Who knows how to cook? Amazing cook, isn't it? That you cook food, yeah? Yes.
Where does she buy the food from?
I don't know.
That's funny.
And the other one is gonna be a great parent. The one I don't want it. It's man who's really rich, but it doesn't matter. Poor or rich.
Well, you can't buy happiness. Is that right?
Yeah.
Now you kind of have an idea of what to do when we do a discussion approach when you tackle the subject, where you have to defend your answers. And this is exactly what we're going to do in the next part of the lesson. Where we're going to, instead of having a reading, we're just going to watch a little video. That should take about 8 minutes. And then before we watch the video, so you need a pen and paper. You're gonna draw. You can do it on the back. You can draw on the back 2 columns. On one side you can put the pros and cons.
Oh, pro and cons.
Here's the video today. The topic is tap water versus bottled water. Which one is the best? It's a topic that's been discussed and debated for years. We still don't know which one is better and which one is not. Alright? So, you ready? You draw your 2 columns? Because by the end of the class today, you'll be able to analyze and debate the pros and cons of drinking water. That's basically the outcome for today. And also, you'll be able to, at the end of the lesson, you'll be reflecting on what's been discussing in the class, and you'll be writing a report of 1 page.
Yay.
Double space. 12 fonts.
48 fonts.
Yeah.
One sentence.
There you go. Is the sound already in? I think so.
This is a story about a world obsessed with stuff. It's a story about a system in crisis. We're trashing the planet, we're trashing each other, and we're not even having fun. The good thing is that when we start to understand the system, we start to see lots of places to step in and turn these problems into solutions. One of the problems with trying to use less stuff is that sometimes we feel like we really need it. What if you live in a city like, say, Cleveland, and you want a glass of water? Are you going to take your chances and get it from the city tap? Or should you reach for a bottle of water that comes from the pristine rainforest of Fiji? Well, Fiji brand water thought the answer to this question was obvious, so they built a whole ad campaign around it. It turned out to be one of the dumbest moves in advertising history. You see, the city of Cleveland didn't like being the butt of Fiji's jokes, so they did some tests, and guess what? These tests showed a glass of Fiji water is lower quality, it loses taste tests against Cleveland Tap, and costs thousands of times more. This story is typical of what happens when you test bottled water against tap water. Is it cleaner? Sometimes, sometimes not. In many ways, bottled water is less regulated than tap. Is it tastier? In taste tests across the country, people consistently choose tap over bottled water. These bottled water companies say they're just meeting consumer demand. But who would demand a less sustainable, less tasty, way more expensive product? Especially when you can get for almost free in your kitchen. Bottled water costs about 2,000 times more than tap water. Can you imagine paying 2,000 times the price of anything else? How about a $10,000 sandwich? Yet people in the US buy more than 500 million bottles of water every week. That is enough to circle the globe more than 5 times. How did this come to be? Well, it all goes back to how our materials economy works, and one of its key drivers, which is known as manufactured demand. If companies want to keep growing, they have to keep selling more and more stuff. In the 1970s, giant soft drink companies got worried as they saw their growth projections starting to level off. There's only so much soda a person can drink. Plus, it wouldn't be long before people began realizing that soda is not that healthy and turned back to, gasp, drinking tap water. Well, the companies found their next big idea in a silly designer product that most people laughed off as a passing yuppie fad. Water's free, people said back then. What will they sell us next? Air? So how do you get people to buy this fringe product? Simple. You manufacture demand. How do you do that? Well, imagine you're in charge of a bottled water company. Since people aren't lining up to trade their hard-earned money for your unnecessary product, you make them feel scared and insecure if they don't have it. And that's exactly what the bottled water industry did. One of their first marketing tactics was to scare people about tap water with ads like Fiji's Cleveland campaign. When we're done, one top water executive said, tap water will be relegated to showers and washing dishes. Next, you hide the reality of your product behind images of pure fantasy. Have you ever noticed how bottled water tries to seduce us with pictures of mountain streams and pristine nature? But guess where a third of all bottled water in the US actually comes from? The tap. Pepsi's Aquafina and Coach Dasani are two of the many brands that are really filtered tap water. But the pristine nature lie goes much deeper. In a recent full-page ad, Nestle said, bottled water is the most environmentally responsible consumer product in the world. What? They are trashing the environment all along the product's life cycle. Exactly how is that environmentally responsible? The problems start here with extraction and production, where oil is used to make water bottles. Each year, making the plastic water bottles used in the US takes enough oil and energy to fuel 1 million cars. All that energy spent to make the bottle, even more to ship it around the planet, and then we drink it in about 2 minutes? That brings us into the big problem at the other end of the life cycle, disposal. What happens to all these bottles when we're done? 80% end up in landfills, where they will sit for thousands of years, or in incinerators, where they are burned, releasing toxic pollution. The rest gets collected for recycling. I was curious about where the plastic bottles that I put in the recycling bins go. I found out that shiploads were being sent to India, so I went there. I will never forget riding over a hill outside Madras, where I came face to face with a mountain of plastic bottles from California. Now, real recycling would turn these bottles back into bottles. But that wasn't what was happening here. Instead, these bottles were slated to be downcycled, which means turning them into lower quality products that would just be chucked later. The parts that couldn't be downcycled were thrown away there, shipped all the way to India just to be dumped in someone else's backyard. If bottled water companies want to use mountains on their labels, it would be more accurate to show one of these mountains of plastic waste. Scaring us, seducing us, and misleading us. These strategies are all core parts of manufacturing demand. Once they've manufactured all this demand, creating a new multi-billion-dollar market, they defend it by beating out the competition. But in this case, the competition is our basic human right to clean, safe drinking water. Pepsi's vice chairman publicly said, the biggest enemy is tap water. They want us to think it's dirty and bottled water is the best alternative. In many places, public water is polluted, thanks to polluting industries like the plastic bottle industry. And these bottled water guys are all too happy to offer their expensive solutions, which keep us hooked on their products. It is time we took back the tap. That starts with making a personal commitment to not buy or drink bottled water unless the water in your community is truly unhealthy. Yes, it takes a bit of foresight to grab a reusable bottle on the way out, but I think we can handle it. Then take the next step. Join a campaign that's working for real solutions, like demanding investment in clean tap water for all. In the US, tap water is underfunded by $24 billion, partly because people believe drinking water only comes from a bottle. Around the world, 1 billion people don't have access to clean water right now. Yet cities all over are spending millions of dollars to deal with all the plastic bottles we throw out. What if that money was spent improving our water systems, or better yet, preventing pollution to begin with? There are many more things we can do to solve this problem. Lobby your city officials to bring back drinking fountains. Work to ban the purchase of bottled water by your school, your organization, or entire city. This is a huge opportunity for millions of people to wake up and protect our wallets, our health, and the planet. The good news is it's already started. Bottled water sales have begun to drop while business is booming for safe, refillable water bottles. Yay! Restaurants are proudly serving tap, and people are choosing to pocket the hundreds or thousands of dollars they would otherwise be wasting on bottled water. Carrying bottled water is on its way to being as cool as smoking while pregnant. We know better now. The bottled water industry is getting
I'm
worried because
thirsty
the
now.
jig is up. We are not buying into their manufactured demand anymore. We will choose our own demands, thank you very much, and we're demanding clean, safe water for all.
Yeah, I love Fiji water.
Alright. So, what do you think about the video? Do you guys take notes? I can see you guys took a lot of notes. Right. So, does that change your point of view of bottled water or tap water? Don't answer this question. Just think about it, because now we're gonna discuss. We're gonna try to talk about the benefits, pros and cons of drinking from the tap water or from bottled water. That's exactly what I'm gonna do in the remaining 5 minutes of the time. And yeah, whenever I give the whole to, then you start the discussion. There you go.
Okay, we know I don't like bottled water because it's all around my house and I hate it. But I like the hydro flats. Because hydro flat, you just put ice in there and put the water from the tap in and that's it.
It's up to you. You don't have to agree. You can argue what she's saying. You don't have to say, yeah, okay. I want you to be critical thinkers, alright?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the pollution it brings to the planet. I think that bottled water, for that reason, is kind of terrible. However, I mean, you could argue both sides for, I don't know, yeah, the level of cleanliness in the water is negligible on either side. It's not really any different. They might use some of the same water, some of it's filtered. But, you know, think about how many companies, if all the water's going down, how many companies are going to jump on the bandwagon of having refillable water bottles. And those do take a lot of resources to make as well. So, just because one is kind of bad doesn't mean that the other two, the other option can't be bad as well.
I'm gonna take the I am going to
Come on,
disagree. We have 2 minutes.
it's fine. Just talk.
Oh, I'm going to disagree with Myra because I think bottled water is great and we should spend more money on it.
No, it's not good.
Because it says Fiji on it. It looks so nice. I just want to buy it.
Yeah, but it's made in Cleveland. Hello.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Were you not watching the video?
No,
Jimmy, were you watching the video? Not joking.
it's not
Cleveland.
true. It's Cleveland. They made in Cleveland.
It says Fiji on it. I just
You
want to
should
buy
put the
it.
video on it. Everybody can drink it.
Here's the thing. Naked juice. $5 for like what? Half a liter. Or like less.
$5?
Yeah.
It's $4.
$4.
$3.99.
I buy that every time, you know why? Because it's the most expensive and price makes it seem like it's higher quality. So that's why I buy it.
What?
Or I can argue with that
Is it water?
juice and bottles
Juice.
or even water, they
No,
can be good or they
it
cannot.
is not doing right because it is very low to it and it's like publicity for low to it. Hello.
So for my spouse, I want her to say Fiji on it.
Alright, hold on. So you're for bottled water, right? What are you for?
I'm against bottled water.
You're against bottled water. Alright. So now we're gonna. So you're against. So I'm for. So we can have both sides.
No, I can be 4 too and that's it.
You gotta choose.
No, because
You gotta choose.
no,
I'm the
because
teacher.
because when it says hurricane and there's no clean water, we need bottled water.
Alright, so we're just gonna switch roles now. So since you were against bottled water, now you're for bottled water, and now you're for tap water, and you're against bottled water. So how would you argue?
I like what Mila said about emergency relief. Some areas don't have very clean tap water, and so they rely on bottled water, even though it is kind of environmentally responsible. If it comes to saving lives, that should be the main priority of especially emergency relief, but also just in cases of poor environmental areas, it's important to have clean water so that lives can be sustained.
What are you gonna say, Tanner?
Bottled water is bad because there's a study done that if you leave bottled water in the sun and then pregnant women drink the bottled water, there's a little bit of plastic residue that leaks into the water and it causes cancer, and it's a ridiculous high amount or whatever.
So don't leave it in the sun.
Right. Hey.
So I've got a question for you. How long can you stock the water for?
Forever.
Oh yeah?
No, they had a study, the French study that every water in a bottle of plastic after maybe 2 years it sucks down. Chemicals.
I hate bottled water. I love tap water.
Alright, guys, thank you for participating for our discussion. I'd just like to finish with my own experience and thoughts about bottled water, tap water. Growing up, I would just drink from the tap water. We would just fill up the bottles that we would buy and just put it in the fridge because we have free water actually. So we go to the source, we go to Papara and fill it up and go home. So what we do, we never throw away the bottles. If we do, it's when it's really dirty and you can see the green stuff, then we just try to clean first. However, when I was a kid and I was sick, I wouldn't drink tap water. I would actually drink bottled water because it helps me recover, and that's the things we do. So every one of us has their own opinions about whether bottled water or tap water is good or not, but we all have to choose. And there's one way you can actually convince me, the teacher, that which one is the best. Is you're gonna write 1 page. That's your homework for next time. All right, 1-page reflection about the video we watched and the discussion we just talked about. And you can rely on your notes. Just make sure everything you say is accurate, and that's pretty much the lesson for us today. Thank you for coming.
Yes!